Hey everybody, this is your boy E.Wilson, and I work for American Airlines at DFW International Airport, but I'm also a member of Local 513 right here at DFW. Listen, I'm coming to you today to just share my thoughts and my heart on this informational picketing that's taking place on July the 26th, a few weeks away. Listen, just to give you a little background on me, even why I'm doing this video, I've worked at JFK, I'm 5 years and like 11 years in Newark, and now over 11 and a half years in DFW, so I'm coming up on 27 years. I've done seen a few Sundays with the company. I've done seen ups and downs and ins and outs. And so I'm saying that to say that in 2003, as the World Trade attacks hit, 2001, we gave back. And we gave back a lot. I think at that time it was 33%, whether it's pay, benefits, vacation, sick time, just holiday pays. It was cuts after cut. There was enough cuts for a blood pool. It was just cuts everywhere in hopes that the company didn't have to go into bankruptcy like a lot of other airlines was doing. Well, the company still wound up going into the bankruptcy. I guess they tried to stay out, still wound up going in. Okay, no problem. But the slogan back then was share the pain, share the gain, pull together, win together. So that was in hopes that when the company come back to profitability, we can go ahead and get a cut. Well, that hasn't happened exactly. So the reason I'm doing this video and why it's so important for July the 26th, that through social media, I've been able to tap into the union like I've never done before. I'm not one of your regular union attendees, okay, at the meetings. I'm sorry, that's not good. That's one of my faults, not good. But through social media, and B.Parker, who's the strategic action coordinator for the union, what does he do? He strategizes a plan with his team, and once it's a done deal, they execute, point blank. So he's one of the ones that's on the strategic planning for this July the 26th, okay? So I connected with Brian because he's given a lot of information on the union, a lot of great articles and stuff on the union Facebook page that I've been more informed than I've ever had. I also know that Brian's a good brother. He's also a crew chief on the A side, 820, and I just love connecting with people who are trying to do the right thing. So I reached out to Brian, and we encourage each other because I do these videos called A Breath of Fresh Air, which is basically to encourage employees, getting bugs off my screen, encourage employees to have a great day at work. It started for American Airlines employees, but now it's like system-wide. People are watching these videos and being encouraged whether they work for the airlines or not. So me and Brian connected through that, and he's taken a couple of videos and shared them on the union website, because I just believe that for me, I have a good time before I get to work, I have a good time while I'm at work, and I have a good time when I get off of work. Going to work doesn't stop me from having a good time. I'm going to have a conversation with people, I'm going to laugh, I'm going to joke, I'm going to get the job done, and it's going to be time to go home. I just think it's so much easier. And with the negativity that's been going around over the years, I just decided, you know what, this is what I'm going to do to try to counteract the negativity. So instead of talking about people who are being negative, my thing is that I'm just going to say something positive. So I've been doing this for a while, and then Brian also knows that I started an organization called JTC, which stands for Join the Conversation. I'm letting you in on the meeting that we had, and which is basically what we're doing now is a conversation piece. And my thing was, when I got to Dallas, there were a lot of suicides going on. And so after so many, I jumped into action to try to help, and I started gathering brothers together and just trying to encourage people, whether in their marriage or whatever. I'm no Dr. Phil, but just gray hairs are not painted. I've learned a few things over the years. So my thing was just to try to encourage people where they were at, let them know it's not the end of the road. I've experienced some hard times in my life myself, so I just try to share my experiences so people can move forward. So that turned into going into the schools, going into the prisons, going into the communities, giving out food, clothes, and toys, and all this stuff. So we've been doing this over 8.5 years, but what a lot of people don't know, it started right on the ramp at DFW, trying to meet needs, just trying to fill in gaps. We got a great program with the EAP and all that stuff, but my thing was, okay, there's stuff going on right in front of me. What can I do to help? So with that being known, B.Parker's known about me for years, and so we finally met up, and we're sharing back and forth when we meet up. And one of the things that stuck out to me is that he was on vacation. So really, technically, he shouldn't even been meeting with me, especially with a union guy who ain't been to no meetings in a while, But he never held that against me. We talked, and so as we talked about July the 26th, that came up, and he just said, this is a real critical time, and he started to break down some stuff with me. And so I was privileged to be in his presence to hear some of the details, of what was going on. And he just said that, the company's been dragging their feet, which everybody knows, for a long time now. and they're making a lot of money, and it's time for us to get our cut. And we need to remind them that we know that it's still time to get our cut. And so with that being said, American Airlines being the #1 airline now, we're saying that why are we number 5 in pay scale? We helped you get to #1. So it's only right for us to move up, and not just that, to get back what we received. On top of that, this gathering on July 26th is not just for that. We're trying to set up where we get some of these other stations back, so some of these commuters can move back home with their families. I commuted for 17 years, so I know how it is to be away from your family. There's a whole lot riding on the table. On top of, this is not a local 513 thing. We're a part of it, but it's local 567, local 591, and the rest of local system-wide is behind this movement on July 26th. Not only that, the pilots, the flight attendants, the mechanics, the gate agents, they are all supporting this movement. So it's bigger than just us on the ramp, but guess what? It's the ramp people too. We need to be out there on July the 26th. You've had people that's been fighting on your behalf for a while. And when Brian was breaking down to me some of the details, let me just stop and say this. President Favre, Vice President Chino, and all the rest of the union leaders, I just want to thank you for your service, whether you're a shop steward, benefits coordinator, whatever you do for the union as far as leadership. I just want to thank you because you are so needed. And I know a lot of times when you are leading people, a lot of times you're fighting the people that you're leading. Somebody will say, what are you talking about? Well, take your family, take your kids, if you have some. If you don't have none, somebody in your family got some, and you're trying to tell the kid you need to do this like this because you see the big picture. Well, the kid doesn't do it, or they do it a different way. And you're trying to break down to them that you need it done this way because you see the big picture. The kid is just in a straight and narrow line. And so that gets frustrating. Do your homework right when you get home so you can have the rest of the evening to play. Now it's 8 o'clock. You do your homework? No. Why didn't you do your homework? So if you think that's frustrating, how would you think it is for our union to be fighting with American Airlines, and I'm saying fighting, trying to get a contract done? It is not that simple. And we who are the members, because when we talk about the union, you're only talking about yourself, we need to get behind them. So with that being said, I want to take this thank you to the negotiating team. It was brought to my attention that you guys have been on the road for the last year and a half, trying to lock down the deal for me and everybody else. Thank you so much. Missing weddings, birthdays, funerals, anniversaries, missing time with your family, fighting for a cause. Listen, my hat goes off to you, every one of you on the negotiating team. Thank you for your service. And with that being said, it was brought to my attention that you requested one thing for us to show up on July the 26th. That is why I'm doing this video, is to encourage people, the ramp, whatever department you're in, to come out on July the 26th. You are needed to be there. The more of us are there, louder the voice. Forget your details, forget who you don't like in the union, what the union should have did, what the company should have did. All that's irrelevant. It's showtime on July 26th. You have an opportunity now to help us win what we should have already got. So everything else really doesn't matter. So I just want to, I'm excited about it because we're on a shift here. And with that being said, new hires, 4 years and down, you need to be out there. You've come in at a great time. You've come in at a time where other people have sacrificed and gave up. You came in getting the milk and honey right off the top. I'm excited for you. Go get it. But you need to be there. We're fighting for your future. This is not about us. This is about the being for the employees of the future now, and for the future to be stable and to have have what's fair. Like I said, America said, share the pain, share the gain. They said, win together, pull together. Pull together, win together. Whatever how you want to say it. This is what this is about. And now is your time. You're going to whine or you're going to walk. You're going to whine or you're going to walk the line. You can walk the line and whine if you want, but you need to come out there. You need to come out there. So stay updated on Facebook, on the union page. There's going to be more information. I don't know if I might be called to do another video. I'm trying to make sure I hit everything before I let you go. But again, B.Parker is Strategic Action Coordinator. He sets the plan forward, you know, strategize it, and then they execute. And they've been doing a phenomenal job. I heard a lot of good things. Nobody's perfect. Brian's not perfect. I'm not perfect. And guess what? Neither are you. So stop pointing the finger. We need to come together as a body and really let American Airlines know we're still waiting, and we need to take care of this now. You're number one. We need to be number one in pay. We need to be at the top of our game so that the company can continue to soar into the future. I just believe our best days are yet ahead of us. So with that being said, I think I hit everything, and I'm just looking at my notes. I usually don't talk from notes, but I'm trying to make sure I don't leave nothing out. So we'll just see what happens. But this is the first in its history that the flight attendants, pilots, mechanics, gate agents, and ramp service, and whoever else, everybody is coming on one accord to make this happen. So this is bigger than you, and it's bigger than me. This is about what's right. American Airlines, we want them to know it's time for us to get our share. And so we're excited about it. Keep up with Brian Parker on the Union Facebook page, the Union website, and all that other stuff, and we'll see what happens down the road. But I'm encouraging you, July 26th, you need to be there. So in closing, thank you so much for listening. And as always, if you're going to have a conversation, make it a good one. I'm out.